He knows what tempts you. He knows what tempts me, right? Do you know where your temptations come from? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Devotions with Nisha. Let's get into this thing. If you stumbled across this video, we know that it was meant to be because he makes no mistakes. This is not just some random video on your feed, and you did not stumble across this video by luck. If you are listening to me speak right now, there is a message that the Father needs you to hear. So let's begin. Today's daily devotion is centered around overcoming temptation. Let me say this one more time. Overcoming temptation. I don't care who you are and where you come from, how much money you have. You know, us as humans, we are simply flawed. The spirit is willing and the flesh is weak. We all have temptations. We all have things that make us really weak. You know, feelings, thoughts that we have to constantly overcome and try not to participate in, try not to indulge in. And it can be very, very hard because, again, our flesh is weak. Some of us, we become tempted, you know, with drugs. We become tempted with sex. We become tempted with pornography, you know. We become tempted with certain foods, sugar. It's so many different things that we become tempted with. And let's kind of talk about where this temptation even comes from in the first place. Do you know? Do you know where your temptations come from? They come from your own desires. James chapter 1 verse 14 through 16 talks about it. So let's go ahead and read this. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. So something that stuck out to me in this verse is every man is tempted. And this is not just talking about only men, because we know that women can be tempted as well. You know, this is talking about humans. Okay? Every one of us is tempted. And it also mentioned lust. When he is drawn away of his own lust, that means that our temptations, they come from our own desires, our own thoughts, the things that we think about, the things that we sit there and daydream about, right? We see something that we like and we sit there and we think about it. We ponder on it. That is allowing sin to grow when we do this. When we have those thoughts, when we allow those thoughts to enter into our minds, into our hearts, we are allowing sin to grow. We must resist the devil. We must resist the enemy. The enemy is the great deceiver. He is the great tempter. He knows what tempts you. He knows what tempts me, right? You ever find yourself sitting down in a car somewhere and you happen to just look up, and right at that moment a person walks past you that you're attracted to, right? What do? Do you start forming thoughts in your mind? We have to kind of think about this. You know, how exactly does the enemy allow us, right, to fall into these traps and these snares? Think about it. The enemy can't do anything without the permission of the Father. And I know that what I just said can be very difficult for some people to accept, right? Because some of us go through such traumatic things. We go through such, you know, impactful, such painful things that it can be hard for us to think about that the Father would allow us to go through such a thing, right? But we have to think about different incidents in the scriptures where the Father was testing people's faith. Like when he tested Abraham, for example, and he told Abraham to take his son. Abraham was obedient, and he took his son and he went away with his son. And right when Abraham was getting ready to end his son's life, the Father sent a messenger, sent an angel and said, no, don't do it. The Father just wanted to know how faithful Abraham was. So you got to remember that when we are tempted, the Father is allowing us to be tempted for a reason. And when we're going through that temptation, it's like, this is hard. I want it, or whatever the case may be. Like, this is hard to fight it off. This is hard to resist it. But no matter how enticing this temptation is, we must resist the devil. We must resist the enemy. I'm going to tell you something. The enemy has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose. He is the ruler of this earth, and he has nothing to lose. The enemy and his demons are working full time. Just open your eyes and look around. Would you not agree with me? This world is wicked. This world is so evil. The enemy and his minions, his demons, are working full time because they have nothing to lose. Whatever is going to come to them will come to them in time, because everything comes to pass. But right now is not the time for that. And so they're working. They're working. They're working to try to stop you and I from getting into the kingdom. You see, you and I, we have something to lose, right? Everlasting life. But what exactly does the enemy and the demons, the fallen ones, have to lose? There is no way that they can ever turn this thing around, right? They can't turn this around. So it's too late for them. What do they have to lose? So we have to be careful. We have to make sure that we are prayed up. Even though the demons, they roam this earth and they cause people to commit horrible sins, they tremble when they hear the Father's name. They tremble. They know who He is. But you got to remember that they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. We have to pray to the Father. We have to resist the temptations. We have to resist the devil. The Father is never going to put too much on us that we cannot bear. You ever look up and see somebody going through something in their life and you think to yourself like, wow, I just couldn't imagine going through that. You're saying it, but in reality, the Father may never have you go through that because you might not even be able to deal with it. He created each and every one of us. He knows how many strands of hair we have on our heads, on our entire bodies. He knows what you can handle and what I can handle, right? And so He gives it to us. This walk with the Father can be so challenging at times. It can be so hard, difficult, because we are weak. We are born of sin. And it's hard sometimes to walk in the right direction, to walk where very few are walking. I pray that this devotion finds whoever it is meant to find. We must overcome temptation, one prayer at a time. Thank you for watching and thank you for being here. And I will catch you on the next devotion. Bye.